Buongiorno, buongiorno, prendete posto, siamo pronti ad iniziare.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. If you can take your seat, we're about to start shortly, few minutes, and we'll be starting introducing the 59th edition of the Salone del Mobile.
Welcome to all our international guests. We're delighted to have you here today. There's a simultaneous translation for all of you guys. Bravi, perfetto. Adesso possiamo davvero iniziare. Allora, benvenuti.
Thank you so much. So welcome to the introduction of the Salone del Mobile. Today we'll be finding out about all the novelties that will characterize the edition for this year starting April 21st. We'll find out what's going to happen both at the exhibition site as well as the Salone Biennale. We will be displaying technology for the kitchen, the bathroom exhibitions, and also we'll find out more about what connects the Salone along with all the other activities taking place in Milan. Salone is not just an exhibition, it also means to export values into the future. These values have been incorporated in a manifesto over the past few years, and we'll find out about the new word which is now being incorporated within the same manifesto. Currently, we're experiencing a real dramatic event, coronavirus, throughout the world. Economic repercussions are still to be assessed, and of course, an international event such as Salone cannot get away without tackling the topic as well. This is a very special venue this year that it has been, let's say, detected for this year. So we would like to welcome the magnificent rector, Professor Anelli, on stage for his greetings. Thank you so much for your kind hospitality. Good morning and welcome. Welcome to the Aula Magna of the Università Cattolica of Sacro Cuore. I would like to thank Mayor Giuseppe Sala for attending, councillors, Mr. Claudio Luti, President of Salone, Orsini, President of Federlegno, and I would like to thank Professor Cabrini for moderating the event today. I am truly proud today of being able to welcome such a great event to this beautiful venue whilst introducing and presenting the Salone del Mobile. It is a huge satisfaction that we can step in this unique activity for the city, which has become truly representative and symbolic as it stands out, display many of the values which are also embedded in our academia. It has both an historical and cultural meaning. Salone really represents, whilst sharing these values with the community and with the rest of the world, there's one feature that I would like to mention more specific, and both cloisters were designed by Leonardo and Bramante respectively. There's a lot of genius and unique aesthetic sensitivity, something that we may find also and detect in all creative output. And if we mention, on top of those that I've mentioned, the Renaissance geniuses, Leonardo, he used to design a lot of different things, as well as he would translate into reality both artistic and functional objects. And then the social value of such initiative has to be mentioned as well. During Salone, we start considering the new way of inhabiting. So, of course, we are now developing the new aesthetics for homes and offices. And the way we design them also tells a lot about the way we decide to live our homes. And that has to do a lot with the way society evolves as well. A glance is enough to recognize historical era that you are experiencing just by simply taking a look at the way homes and houses are being embellished and decorated, not to mention the profound beauty which permeates all of the activities which are taking place during Salone, along with some important practical features. The open-mindedness towards the rest of the world, and that is clearly shown. By the way, Milan is welcoming everybody from the entire planet. It is a unique opportunity for our city to be part of all of that. So my special thanks to President Luti, to Mayor, to all the attendees. I would like to remind that President Luti actually graduated in this very academia. So my best wishes, and thank you all for attending once again. Thank you for the kind hospitality. And yes, of course, it did mention the important connection with the profound tradition. City of Design, this is how it's been called. Mayor Sala is going to tackle this special connection and link that exists between Salone and the city. Thank you, and sorry if I was spending a few seconds with my special greetings to Marva. She is such a beautiful and unique lady. Thank you so much for attending from everywhere. Thank you, and welcome to my foreign guests. We are now celebrating a big important birthday, actually. When it was established in the first place, I was only 3 years old, and I clearly remember that my father took me to this furnishing exhibition when I was 6 years old. My father was actually dealing with the furniture industry himself. So I did actually attend the very first Salone a long time ago, now that I think about it. And also this unique and profound connection with the city of Milan. Well, first and foremost, allow me to thank Università Cattolica, as well as the entire academia system in Italy. I would like to remind something that is not to be taken so much for granted, and perhaps I'm not the only one emphasizing that. Well, I would like to emphasize that we have over 200, we're welcoming over 200,000 university students in Milan, ranking amongst the top cities in the world, and this means a lot because it does provide a huge meaning to the future of education. Of course, when speaking through Milan, I could also tackle other topics such as fashion and others, but I love to start from university all the times because that is a crucial element. Salone very much incorporates and embodies the full spirit of the city of Milan, and that is something that you can clearly observe with your own eyes because it is so open-minded and so international as Milan is. And the reason why I'm saying that it does embody the spirit is because we're so much peculiar when we're blending things together in the city. And we're actually very good at blending business and leisure all together. The two things blended, meant it, which makes contemporary cities very unique nowadays. And the reason why I'm saying there is such an embodiment is because it does stand out as one of the key cities. And it goes without saying that the international cities that want to be defined and considered as such, they shall tackle these topics, which are those that are most perceived and appreciated by citizens. When we say sustainability, it is more than a beautiful word. There's more to it. And I'm truly grateful to all people working for Salone for their very special interpretation of this same word, sustainability. Also, Salone is embodying the spirit of the city because Milan is indeed a very young city. Of course, still paying full respect to older people, but still welcoming youngster generations. Some designers being welcomed, 600 of them are aged below 35 years of age, and that says a lot. And I would like to go back to the crucial aspect for me as a mayor. So why is Milan so functional, and how can we actually ensure Milan is playing such a functional role? Well, the thing is that we're now heading towards a common direction. So I would like to draw a few conclusions. Milan needs Salone, for sure, and I do firmly believe that also Salone needs Milan. The Milan we're currently experiencing, we've been experiencing over the last few years, also needs your contribution, your love, your devotion, your commitment, recognizing a lot of the efforts that small, medium, old, new operators are now making and have been making over the last few years. So thank you so much for your precious contribution, and welcome again from my side. Thank you, Mayor. I would like now to deep dive into the real story about what Salone will be like this year. I would like to welcome President Luti on stage. Thank you. Welcome, President. Mayor reminded us that he has attended quite a few editions. Well, you have as well, right? You have as well attended a few editions. I would like to thank Mayor Sala for the beautiful words, as well as Rector Anelli for the kind hospitality. It has indeed been the place where I graduated myself, so I do feel excited when I remember I was graduating in this very university. And I know you're very excited as well because we're approaching the new edition. Well, of course, as entrepreneur as well. And let me tell you that we do actually start working on the following edition the very next day after the previous edition has closed. And this happens thanks to the great support of designers, thanks to the city of Milan, which is very much embracing and wrapping us. It is a whole year of work, 12 months of efforts, which hopefully will translate into a successful edition once again. And that is something that we can clearly see in numbers. And just shortly, we'll look at numbers in a few minutes. But as I was anticipating earlier on, we know what is happening everywhere in the world, but most especially in China. So actually, because we would like to be close to Chinese community population, they're fighting against this incredible emergency, humanitarian as well as health emergency. We do have journalists currently watching us, but before we speak to them, I would like to share with you the messages that they've decided to share with us.
From Design Daily, a leading social media in China design industry since 2013. Here, I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to all my Italian friends and all my foreign friends who give a strong support to China at this critical time. I always believe the winner will be the one who is supporting China at a tough time. At last, I wish you guys enjoy very well the international press conference of Salone del Mobile.
Hello everyone, this is Beroshi, Editorial Director of AD China. As you might know, in China and also around the world, people are fighting with this terrible virus. As a human being, I believe our expertise and also our wisdom will conquer it all. Also, during this difficult time, we found that the design has been playing a very important part in our daily lives. Because home becomes a shelter, not just physically, but also spiritually. And with design, it's getting our boring shelter life better and happier. Ciao.
Ciao.
Hello everyone, this is Sugar Lee from L Decoration China magazine. I feel so happy and honored that Salone del Mobile invite us to the press conference of the preview show. Unfortunately, as you know, recently we are all work at home, but I think everything will get better. Well, see you in Milan in April. Thank you. Wish the press conference will receive a big success. Thanks.
Grazie.
Hello everyone, I'm Huyeli from NetEase Home. As an old friend of Salone mobile manners. We are trying our best to report the trends and lifestyle about it. We are looking forward to the grand meeting in April this year. See you in Milan.
Hello everyone, this is Susu from Design Wire. I'm sorry I can't able to attend this press conference this time, but our international writer Colin will meet with you. Design Wire wish this event a great success and we are looking forward to see you in April, Milan. Thank you.
So special thanks to all of our colleagues. It is really moving to hear they're actually they're just sending us their best wishes, and they kind of apologize for not being here. But yes, we will meet them all around the world. We've been meeting and dealing with these people. It is a truly big family for design purposes. I say our best wishes to Chinese population. It is difficult to say, President, what's going to happen over the next few weeks, whether they'll be able to attend in April. Well, this is what we truly hope for. Otherwise, we will strengthen our digital, let's say, connection so that they can still feel part of the family. But hopefully, upcoming news are going to go for the better, and we'll be able to welcome them over to Milan. The quality of visitors from China is so important for us. And also, you confirmed entirely the calendar, right? Haven't you? Well, of course, we keep working and scheduling and organizing and making sure that Salone is going to be successful, that we can welcome everybody. We're getting ready for fall. At the same time, well, clearly enough, we have to carry on. And we will be Moscow first, and Shanghai will follow, trying to catch up with our Chinese colleagues. We are key exporters. We even overcome Germany numbers. Now, let's actually take a look at some important numbers, and now let's also go through some of the key activities that will be held throughout that week, and then we'll talk through that shortly.
So
we've had a run through numbers. can you help us understand more about this upcoming edition? So, bathroom and kitchen will be back on this biannual edition. Yes, indeed, bathroom and kitchen for this upcoming edition, and project this brand new way of showcasing and exhibiting. A lot of young designers, many students will be attending the Salone Satellite. We will have a lot of contemporary design as well as classical, more traditional design. So we'll be incorporated the whole world of furnishing, indeed, and it is going to be a very important year for bathroom and kitchen, which typically they do attract huge numbers of visitors because it is actually, it might be the best way showcasing a Salone. So huge creativity, emotions, beauty, craftsmanship. The city of Milan that is taking this all, embracing this all. And you've also updated the format over the past few editions. Yes, we've changed a few things, but starting from last year, a big change has actually occurred, and we've started to welcome also some companies that were exhibiting elsewhere in the city, whereas now they'll be showcasing from the trade fair. And we're very happy, actually, because there will be a good communion amongst all the designers and exhibitors. I believe the bottom line is very much having the most creative exhibitors, and they're not Italian only, of course. We're also attracting and welcoming many foreigners, and actually 35% of the company exhibiting come from abroad. And this is why, actually, we gained this beautiful definition of the most beautiful furniture show worldwide. And what is nice is that in Milan, they always try to deliver innovation on top of defining trade agreement. And that goes through younger below, young designers below 35 years of age. So what room is there for them? Well, of course, all creative designers want to be here, from archistars to the youngest designers. It is the best way for them to showcase their ultimate work, their ultimate masterpieces. It is the right place to be. Salone is where you can actually generate a lot of business. You can experience a lot of activities, events, where all of our companies and designers will join in. I believe it's not only young people who are happy, who want to be here. Of course, for them, it is perhaps the ideal starting point, especially if they're starting their career right now, and for them to become more visible. What is important is that they become visible also for the most important entrepreneurs from all around the world. So is there anything better than actually starting your career whilst you're actually delivering feelings, emotions to somebody who can also appreciate your work from scratch? And so there's no place like Salone del Mobile for these younger designers, for them to have the most important chance to meet up with everybody. One of the key words from the video we've seen is project. And the idea is very much to design beauty, which is an additional word that is part of the manifesto. Why beauty? Well, because all of the odd words and drivers that we worked on to date, of course, we're only waiting for beauty to be added. So it's all about craftsmanship. Well done. The city embracing us, the whole of the supply chain. Well, we come across some of the most beautiful places in the city. So, of course, beauty is kind of embodying, if you will, all of the old words from the manifesto. It really came out very spontaneously. That is why we adopted and incorporated in the manifesto. Well, not all exhibitions actually have a manifesto. Why did you consider that the manifesto was needed for Salone? Well, I think myself, along with all of the communication group working working for Salone del Mobile, we have considered altogether what was the key success driver. Where is that we could really make a difference? Because we have been experiencing increasing success over the last few years. So this is why we kind of listed a number of words that are very much telling about how we make a difference within Salone del Mobile versus other similar exhibitions elsewhere, and also versus other sales agreements and sales events happening elsewhere. Many capital cities, they do have their special moments as well when it comes to display and showcase furniture. But actually Milan, and these 10 words that we actually came up with are very difficult to be found elsewhere. Mayor mentioned sustainability. Sustainability is very much cross-referencing, and it is very much all across many different industries. But we don't want sustainability to just stand out as an abstract word. So what is sustainability for you, President Luti? I think sustainability, it is very much a buzzword nowadays, and it is perhaps also become a vision, what we're heading for. We as entrepreneurs, and not only furniture entrepreneurs, but as you said, across all industries, it has become a part of everybody's dictionary. It is a buzzword because perhaps it is the one you want to start from if you really want to create an enterprise today. We take it for granted nowadays that companies, enterprises, shall manage materials, production, manufacturing processes, as well as budget, and along with relationships with workers in the most sustainable way. So, of course, there must be commitment towards it when it comes to tackling the best manufacturing processes and so on, but that even goes beyond that. It has become mandatory. So it is not just a responsibility, being responsible, being accountable when it comes to, of course, taking care of our own assets as an enterprise, but also to position yourself at best in society. Where within Classy NBC, there's another keyword, profit with purpose. And so there's some kind of a rethinking of values and also orientating investment based on ethics. Is that the same for you as well? Well, of course, it would be great. It would be ideal if all companies were paying attention to ethics and so that they can deliver the best, not only from a profit viewpoint. Now, I don't want to tackle politics in my speech, but I believe it is important for entrepreneurs such as we are to have that ethical vision, which is very much incorporating everything we said so far. And that same vision, it is also incorporated amongst other key projects that I'm going to speak through today. But you also mentioned something else, other events happening in other cities. How do you foresee the future for your salone here in Milan? Well, this is what we are all wondering about. Tools are changing, scenarios are changing. So we're very much wondering what is going to be like in 10 years' time or so. And that is my personal interpretation now, what I'm saying. But I think that it looks like the inclusion, the 10 words from the manifesto, creativity, supply chain, the willingness from entrepreneurs to take on risks, Italian entrepreneurs, and they know how to have the best conversations with creative people from all around the world. If this is all working so nicely, we are welcoming so many creative designers from all over. They want to come here, they want to be here. And I don't actually observe that elsewhere in the world. There are many powerful countries and powerful nations with, of course, huge strength to fund, and perhaps they're also very good at marketing themselves effectively. But what we're very good at is a nice group of entrepreneurs who are able to deliver such innovation, taking on risks. I think this is how we very much differentiate. So as long as we have all that, and I still believe Milan is going to be one of the nicest week you want to experience. Although of course it is enough to click and take a look in very rapidly at what has been designed and developed, but that is still way different from coming here, from being here in person, meeting up with journalists, understanding, having a real flavor of what's going to happen around you. That is what makes a difference. So until we're able to do that, to deliver all of that I've just explained, I'm pretty sure we'll still be able to attract the attention we need and to leverage that attention to deliver as much back. Because the minute we introduce ourselves, we present ourselves to all the rest of the world after having a successful Salone, as we all try to do every single year, where we're actually able to see people listening to us and selling our product effectively, as well as our modus operandi and the way, let's say, we conceive home, the way we conceive craftsmanship, and ultimately beauty. We do that, of course, in design, but that is also applicable and relevant in fashion, within the fashion industry, and it still makes a difference. And we'll still going to work to the utmost of our commitment and pay attention to what is happening around the world at similar equivalent event elsewhere. And this is helping us, of course, to understand what's the next step to do. But let me tell you that we're still very proud when we travel around, because we're being recognized as being the good ones. Perhaps we're even more recognized by foreigners with respect to what Italians do. Thank you so much, President Muti. Please stay here on the stage with us. One of the things which I'm pretty sure is going to attract attention during the week is the next project that I'm shortly introducing through the video now.
Che cosa c'è di più magico che camminare in una galleria circondato da capolavori?
What is there any more magic than walking in a gallery, being surrounded by masterpieces, landscape, details, characters? These are all wonderful stories. Is there any more magic than being fascinated by the mystery of what is behind the scenes and the curtains? Gestures, scenes, light, voice, the music. These are all wonderful stories. And is there any more magic than indulging into the darkness of a room and let our imagination go? Art director, the soundtrack, actors, atmospheres, the plot, these are all wonderful stories. The whole of this magic is something that we put in a box, in the magic box. It is an installation through which Salone will talk through the 10 words of the manifesto through vision from 10 filmmakers, the best of Italian creativity and design. Emotion, culture, entrepreneurship, project, quality, system, young, communication, genius, Milan at the center. So, from screen to the stage, we're welcoming Davide Rampello. Davide doesn't need to be introduced. He's an intellectual. He's also director, and he has signed a very important project last year, which was devoted to Leonardo. Well, I feel very close to Salone, and he's now the author of the Magic Box. So how about the Magic Box? What was the idea coming from? How was that conceived? Well, we meant to set the scene and represent these 10 important words. As we're experiencing critical times, as you said, for sure, the added value is to represent ourselves not only through projects, which are of course very important, but also through the values that these same projects are delivering. That is crucial to me. When we say to translate something into reality, to make it tangible, well, actually, that comes from cum credere in Latin. So you can make something concrete if it is relied upon, if it is authoritative. So because you want to trust, you want to rely on, there has to be a set of common values, and this is what really makes a difference. A few months ago, I spoke to Claudio and others to screen what we have prepared. Of course, we chose the most beautiful venue ever, which is the Palazzo Reale, as well as the Sala delle Cariatidi, which happens to be the best premise within Palazzo Reale. And inside the Sala delle Cariatidi, we built the Magic Box. And that, of course, makes reference to what was before cinema, to that world that will let imagination of men becoming live. Clearly, what we export to the rest of the world are tangible objects, fashion, and so on. But that also says a lot about our mindset, our lifestyle, the way we live, the way we incorporate the quality of life. So starting from this magic, from the Magic Box, well, there's still surprise around it. It's going to be 12 times 6 meters, and it is a very big brick, if you will. And inside the box, there will be a number of surprises for all visitors. And clearly on the 2 key screens, 5 times 10 meters, these 10 words from the manifesto will be told through a storytelling, through a narrative from 10 filmmakers. How could you possibly fit them in a single box, 10 important filmmakers? Well, of course, they've been given some time. They have 90 seconds each. I will speak at the beginning and at the end. I decided to pronounce the last word, if you will. And again, let me just open a bracket here. It is not just about aesthetic beauty that we're talking about here. When beauty was created, was invented in the first place, it was all about the harmony of what is real, of what is fair, of what is correct. Hence, beautiful. So it is harmony that cannot get away without the ethics of man. And there's more to it than just aesthetics. And that is the spirit that we adopted whilst we were trying to speak through beauty. So when I met with these 10 filmmakers, I told all about this to all of them, and there has been a huge excitement and enthusiasm that has been perceived. Luca Lucini is one with us. Actually, we do have one of the 10 filmmakers, Luca Lucini. Welcome. He will be delivering a short movie around communication. His word is communication. Not easy to speak because he does not have a microphone, but we'll fix that. So, how did you transform communication to these 90 seconds that we'll be appreciating? Of course, a huge excitement of joining in an event which is clearly part of Milan lifestyle. So it's something that I felt excited about from minute one. Also, I started from the key concept of the word communication, and I started to make some crucial considerations around what is needed to get across, to communicate. It is important to have a content, of course, but also it is important to consider the addressees, so people who are receiving your content. And I do that through cinema, advertisement, commercials. So, but that is what you're actually reaching out to. You're reaching out to an audience, to people listening and watching. So I said to myself, why don't we try to communicate the importance of what is getting out there? So we got a text, which we're still working on, and I will actually work with Margherita Bui, one of my favorite actresses ever, and she's happy being part of this project. And through this text, I will actually split 30 seconds, 90 seconds in 3 parts. So the first 30 seconds, she will, let's say, she will act and she will go through the text in a very emotional way. Then she'll become more aggressive in her tone, in her delivery in the next 30 seconds. And then there will be the last 30 seconds where will she perhaps be a stand-up comedian, where again, the tone will be completely different. So 3 different ways of speaking. Of course, I will do my job while directing her. So there will be 3 different releases of herself. She will dress up, of course, differently, likewise. And the bottom line is that through the same text, through the same content, how is that important to get across the same message in a different way? And what is that being perceived then by the final addressee? Well, that is a complete spoiler from you. So you basically unveiled almost everything about your 90 seconds. One last question. Beauty is a word that is actually going to permeate the whole of year also here in Italy. It is the 11th word indeed, because it's 10 plus 1. And as Claudio said, it is a word which is very much embodying the rest. If we mean beauty through all the values which I've expressed before, there's no better, more comprehensive and harmonious word that can actually says it all. It can incorporate this ethical, design-based project that is beauty. It is the true DNA heritage of our culture. We come from Greek and Latin culture, and that is very much embedded into this one extraordinary, fabulous word to me. That is beauty. President, I can't wait to see what filmmakers have done. What are you curious about instead? What is your view? I am so happy because I actually started from the manifesto, from these 10 words that we detected and that we circulated all around the world. And I am so happy that Davide has supported us and is being supported by 10 popular filmmakers. So I can't believe that they've done such a beautiful job, something that again will be able to circulate all around the world and we'll be able to screen it everywhere. So it's going to be a new product for export, isn't that? I think it's unique. It is like closing our manifesto, whilst making it more comprehensive, complete, nothing missing really, and hence we'll be able to experience to experience their views. Well, we expect long lines then, in Palazzo Reale. Yes, I'm pretty sure many will attend. And it won't just be designers or, let's say, the expert, but I do expect citizens to also be on a long line, on a long queue, before they can actually experience and view the most beautiful place in Milan, Sala delle Cariatidi, and looking at this tribute. Yes, that's exactly what we wanted to do, a tribute to our beautiful city. Thank you, Davide Rampello, Luca Lucini. Thank you, thank you.
Allora, noi sappiamo che quello che succede dentro il salone
So we do know that what happens inside the salon, it is actually mirroring and reflecting what is happening elsewhere, lifestyle, the changes as well from generation to next, and such an intertwined, let's say, the exchange and blending of ideas. It is one of the most interesting things of this very unique event that is a Salone. So to understand more about what happens in death, we have decided to invite Francesco Morace on stage. He's a sociologist, is a founding author 30 years ago from Future Concept Lab, which is a lab that is indeed by definition delivering these new visions and constantly seeking for new formulas to revitalize growth. The country report to be in a recession, demographic recession, as the population is growing older and older. Still, perhaps we might have a recipe for the country to be revitalized, and you summarized all of that through some images. Well, that is for sure what it's going to be like. We do have all the ingredients needed for the country to be fully revived and reinvigorated. So I will try to provide with my snapshot, with my overview, also to people, also for the sake of people coming from abroad. Let me tell you what is Milan trying to do to put together what you have already nicely introduced. So we did work on the words from manifesto as well, and that is important because the value, the meaning of words is crucial once again. We did work on images and we did choose two very powerful ones. This little bird to start with. Well, the minute we tackle viruses, contagiousness, and that is important to say, but there's also something which is as important, pollination, which is what this bird makes possible, and it does that whilst is delivering important values. And this word, which is going to be a truly important expression, that is the augmented ethics. Let's not forget that we're currently experiencing an augmented reality, which Floridi has defined on life. So we're both online as well as in life. We still need to leverage on creativity, on younger generation, and we need still to strengthen values and ethics. So the augmented ethics is a big challenge in itself that will allow us to carry on with manufacturing processes that beyond beauty that we reach out to are accurate, healthy, very much tied to a vision that is a very tangible vision. And I love what has been said earlier around the meaning of what is tangible and concrete, cum credere. So we can actually share this with the rest of the world, like a bird pollinating the entire world. And those of us who could not attend today, it's very much striking to see so many women journalists, and happy to see so many women journalists that could not attend here. Well, of course, we are hoping that that is going to be solved soon. And secondly, the image of beauty. And of course, tackling beauty, there's nothing more beautiful than the fly of a butterfly. And both birds as well as butterflies, they do fly not too high enough for us to see them. And that is exactly what the entire world is asking and what has been asked to Milan, to Salone del Mobile as well. So the new word, the new expression here is the augmented beauty. So we started from the beauty, which is what President Muti has decided to adopt, and we came up with this expression, augmented beauty. Is good to have ethics because that is necessary to have new rules in place, but beware. Ethics can never neglect aesthetics. The two must be hand in hand. We're very good at aesthetics from aesthesis, and I love playing with the etymology of the word. Aesthesis is to listen to together. So it is a way of experiencing, of listening. And that is something that is part of our DNA. So we shall definitely understand and acknowledge that both aesthetics and beauty have to be hand in hand, hence being responsible. And the bird, again, from a fairy tale that we know of, fire in the woods, the animals are terrified, and bird is actually grabbing a drop through its beak, and the lion says, what do you think you're doing with that? And the bird is replying, I'm doing my share. And that is exactly what we're supposed to do. We are supposed to play our share. And it means that we put together ethics along with beauty, a new way of reasoning. Hence, the third image that I'm happy to share with you. So we shall fit all of what I've said, and that is up to me. It is very much my task as we do work on the augmented present and the augmented future. We spoke about sustainability. Well, let me tell you that sustainability nowadays is not about being environmental friendly. Well, that was useful because it worked as an icebreaker, if you will. It provoked some reactions, but actually, sustainability today is smart sustainability. So we shan't start for something that is technology-based. For instance, to maximize the popular circular economy, and you're processing that as well. I know that. So the importance of mapping the future in a smart manner. And you, Cabrini, as a journalist, perhaps you should emphasize that topic as well. It is all about truthfulness. So people like to say trust me, but how can you actually strengthen relationship in a digital world? You can do that if you're telling the truth, as simple as that. And under that perspective, exhibitors, Salone, Italy, Milan, they have a lot to say. So good to fall in love with communication formats that have been made by others, but also do something such as story doing rather than storytelling. Let's not just tell through fairy tales, but let's go through real stories. Thank you so much, Francesco. We have heard about Salone becoming international and leader all around the world, but perhaps we shall also tackle challenges. And indeed, a few days ago, you said fashion is no longer necessary for itself. It has to change inside. So how can Salone, what does Salone supposed to do in that world that you just described? Well, first and foremost, it has to be inclusive, and perhaps it is already doing that. I love the 600 designers aged below 35 years of age, so it has to be cross-generational. One of the key challenge, which was the fourth element from my map, is the deep and deal. So we have to redefine a deal, a social deal, a social contract, because there's also also social innovation, not only technology innovation. So we shall rethink about an healthy relationship with the younger generations, include them, so being inclusive of them, and that also is very much relevant for the employment industry. And how about the Milan model, which is now standing out as an example for everybody? How shall we invest? Well, for sure, Milan, as a Neapolitan person, I'm proud to say that I believe Milan is the most accredited and highly recognized reality worldwide. So we have to be proud about what we're doing in this city. Of course, there's always room for improvement. And that improvement that I'm talking about is what I'm foreseeing, envisaging for the future. I believe that's the reason why I've been invited in the first place. We are very good already, perhaps some of the best in our industry, but we can improve in creating, delivering new trust-based relationships with other industries, citizens, countries, visitors. There's still a lot to do around that. President, did you take note about what is left for you to do? Of course I did. I do very much agree. So thank you both. And last but not least, I would like to invite Presidente Orsini from Federlegno. Welcome, President from Federlegno, on stage. We have spoken about many different facets, and as a journalist delving into economics, I'd love to understand what's the state of health then for Salone economy-wise. Well, I'd love to thank Mayor Sala and Rector Anelli for their attendance. I'm so very happy that they're both attending today. Well, you're asking me about the state of health. Well, of course, I have to share numbers. And we do have a pre-actual for 2019, which has turned out to be very positive, as the industry is now delivering some 42 billion sales, reporting growth by 0.6%. This is just a pre-actual numbers, and we're talking through furniture here. So those 42.5 billion is generated by the entire furniture industry. And actually, as far as we are concerned, is a total turnover equal to 27.7 billion. But what is important is that 14 billion export and 13 and something for domestic. So export has overcome domestic. So that is important to say because I know there are many foreign journalists here with us today, and that says a lot. Again, how much and to what extent made in Italy nowadays is a positive story, is a positive narrative where there's a lot of R&D. So 2019, year on year on 18, has reported increase by 3%, consider the entire turnover in R&D. So what we're seeing in April this year are top-notch, the result of research. And that is what is being recognized by foreign countries as well when they come and buy our products. And 1.4 increase is what we report in Italy. It is still a very important number. When you report increase by 1.4, well, we have and that is greater than the increase in export, slightly greater. And we try to understand the reasons why, the underlying. Well, real estate is doing very good. Milan is reporting growth by 9.5% in real estate. And that, of course, it makes it easier for our products to be purchased here. And something that we can't neglect, also considering what's going to happen in 2026, Milano Cortina. So hotelry and it will be important. Italian lifestyle will be crucial for our products to be more and more recognized. We will revamp our hotels so that all of those visitors coming in 2026 will be able to appreciate the Italian Italian way and bring them back to their own countries. So brand new opportunities for us. And then the bonus mobili. Yeah, that would be my next question. So what is the weight on the domestic market? Because I do remember years when the market, after the double recession, actually was kind of frozen. So how about this bonus, the furniture bonus? Does it make sense also for export countries as well? Well, let me start from an important piece of information. So 200,000 Italians have actually leveraged the furniture bonus. It has been a key driver for real economy. And so perhaps instead of calling a bonus, it is actually real economy. So we have to support it. And also we have to submit it to Brussels as well, because it did work so nicely for Italy. How about it may be disseminated throughout the rest of Europe, perhaps, by fostering the sale in other furniture in other European countries as well. So I think that this is what is very one of the most important things to emphasize. Well, the supply chain has to become sustainable as well, as we said. So how about the small, medium-sized companies? We have many here in Brianza, but also elsewhere in the country. So how about the state of health in terms of transitioning towards sustainability? Well, Italy stands for sustainability. And when it comes to wooden furniture, we are doing a lot around it. Let's not forget that we're actually recovering 2 million tons from municipality platforms, which are becoming, let's say, product that we may reuse and rebuild and reconsider. But we cannot do everything by ourselves. And because, of course, once we do recycle and we do reintroduce in the market, there's a lot of effort, and we're actually doing that in a kind of a standalone fashion. Whereas what I would expect is a support from politicians as well with regard to that. How about China? What if I say China? What is your thinking around? Well, we can't hide behind China now being a problem. I mean, there's a huge problem for them, and the relationship between Italy and China is very strong and powerful. And the Shanghai Salone del Mobile says a lot about it. Well, hopefully this is going to be fixed soon for obvious reasons. But let's not forget that Salone del Mobile is welcoming some 184 countries from all around the world. And out of those 42 billion I mentioned before, China is accounting for 400 million. So it is a growing number. It is an important number, but of course the overall objective is to be there for all the countries from all over the world, and we cannot stop the machine, Italy machine, as a Salone del Mobile is the tip of the diamond of our country nowadays. So what's going to happen over the next few years? What do you expect from Made in Italy of furnishings? Well, we do expect a lot, and April, I'm pretty sure, is going to be extremely successful once again. Luti, what is Salone going to be like? Well, let me tell you that we're getting ready for it, and hopefully it's going to be a beautiful, successful year, hoping that our Chinese friends will be able to attend as well. So thank you, President Luti. Thank you, President Orsini. I hope this first introduction of the 59th edition of the Salone del Mobile was helpful and clear enough for all of you. We'll see you in April.